Hello, everyone. This is Amy Engelmark of Amy Engelmark Coaching. Hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday morning already. I've got a comfortable seat here, nice cushions that are supporting me, and I am ready for our webinar training today. So you are on Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life webinar training. It happens every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. So if you signed up for this and you're watching live, welcome. If you've signed up and you can't make it live, you're going to be sent the replay, so no worries. You're in the right place if you struggle with making time for yourself, if you struggle with making time for your health and managing your time effectively. I work with many entrepreneurs, sales professionals, people in the healthcare industry, people in realty and investing, and what they struggle with, their biggest concerns seem to be stress management. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Time management, being able to have a balanced life and still be very successful and productive. So I show my clients how to do that. I'm trained as a life coach and stress management consultant, and it is my joy to be able to share my training with you today in this class. So stick around because I have something I want to give to you. Let me see here. It is a gratitude journal, and I'm just going to take this thing off of here. This gratitude journal I highly recommend using because it is going to help you focus in on everything that is going well for yourself, everything that is going right. And that's where you want to keep your focus. When you're walking through life and you're going through a lot of stress and you're dealing with a lot of pressure, you need to focus on the right things that are going to make you feel healthy, happy, and full of life. So I'm going to give that journal away at the end of the call to the first person who is able to answer a question that I ask correctly. If you are on here and you don't get that book, I'm also going to give you and anyone who's watching the replay the first 2 chapters of my book. It's called From Burnt Out to Bliss. It's a 30-day challenge for high achievers to create more time for fun and time freedom in their lives. So I'll post that link here on the call, and I hope you enjoy it. Before we hop in and I share my screen with you, I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you because today's training is specifically on finding lasting calm. So that state of calm and peacefulness that carries you through no matter how much pressure or stress you're dealing with. And there have been times in my life. Hi, Ren, welcome. So before I share my story with you, I'd really love it, just like Ran did, if you could put your name and where you're from in the chat bar, and that way we can see who is on live and we can connect. It's this beautiful thing about social media. Don't just need to connect in person, we can connect online as well. So while you're doing that, I will continue with my story. So there have been times in my life when I have felt like I had very little control over what was happening. Things weren't going to plan. Life wasn't following the plan I thought was best for me. And I started to feel like a failure in certain areas and started to feel like there's no point, hopeless, like a victim mentality. And I started really struggling. So there's been times when I've really felt like that. And I have not felt calm. I have felt uber frustrated. I've felt super duper hopeless. And it's not a great place to feel. It doesn't feel good to feel like when you're surrounded with jobs that need to be done, when everybody is vying for your attention and they need something from you, and all that pressure is happening in your life. Sometimes it makes us want to crack or feel like cracking, feel like we can't handle anymore. And I get it. I've been there, and what I found is that you have more control over your life than you think. The more you take responsibility for changing how you view life, changing your mindset and perspective, then pathways and doors start opening for you and you see the blessings and gifts and opportunities that are right at your feet if you would open your eyes. So that's what I've learned is as I open my eyes and I shift my perspective, I learn how to let go of control and trust that there's a bigger plan for my life. Things fall into place. And I've applied what I've learned in my coaching to my own life. And I share it with my clients in their lives, and they get the same results. So I'm telling you for certain that if you apply what you learn on these webinars and you take it seriously, you take it to heart, and you don't just listen and then forget and not take notes and not remind yourself by going back over the notes. If you do these steps, if you take action, you're going to get results. You're going to get the results you want in your life. That's my personal guarantee, but it means that you need to do the work on your side to get new results, to feel the way you want to feel, which I'm sure you want to feel fantastic, just like me. That's always my desire, is to feel fantastic. So let's hop in. I'm going to share my slides with you, and you'll learn a little bit more about me, and you'll find out how you can start feeling consistently calm on a minute-to-minute basis, no matter what's going on in your life. So get your journals ready, your notebooks ready, and pens, and we can start the training. Remember, if you're just hopping on, put your name and where you're from in the sidebar in that chat room, and we can connect. Thanks for joining me live. It's great to have you. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so this is the Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life webinar. This is your opportunity. You've created time for yourself to sit down, make yourself a priority, and learn so you can become more successful in all areas of your life, have less stress, better time management. That's what this is all about. So it happens every week. Feel free to share the details with your friends or family who are going through pressure-filled times, stressful times, and they're more than welcome to join us on these webinars, because it's my goal to help you make 2016 a really incredible year for yourself. This is me, and this is a little bit about the focus of our webinars. We cover time management, strategies to effectively deal with your stress, learn how to create more free time so you have that time freedom that you desire, and learn how to prioritize your health and your mental peace of mind, your mental health, so that you can feel the way that you want to feel. Here's me with some women that I've trained locally in person, and I do also these online webinars as well as group coaching. So stick around. Like I said at the end of the call, I have a daily gratitude journal for you that is really going to help you focus on what's working, what's going well, and be able to give yourself a pat on the back for all of the good things that you do and all of the work that you accomplish. So stick around for that. My promise for you today is that I will do my best and give you all that I have in the time that we have together today, so that you can create a really strong foundation for success in your life. You can have everything that you desire to have as you work towards it. So we're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to come away with secrets, tips, strategies to help you create a balanced life minus the stress. So I'll show you the habits you need to implement in order to feel successful, be successful and productive, and have more fun and more time freedom. We cover stress management strategies. I teach you how to get new results in less time, where you felt maybe even held back and stuck for a long time. Doesn't mean it has to take a long time to change your habits. So the more you apply from these webinars, the more you're going to see changes, even in the next month. You're going to get access to some real breakthrough strategies that I teach around overcoming fear and self-doubt and learning how to prioritize yourself because you're worth it. We're going to cover the importance of mastering your emotions on these webinars, really help you create some mindset shifts so that you can walk your own talk. You know what you say you want to do, you know what you tell others you prioritize, but you don't always stay consistent with prioritizing what's most important in your life. That's what I'm going to help you do, is create a consistent routine for yourself that honors what's most important to you. And I'll help you get very clear on what your goals are so that you can let go of what's less important and focus your energy on what's most important. Needs versus wants. This is me during a photo shoot a little while ago. And a little bit about me: I am a writer, I am a speaker, trainer, coach. My background is focused on working with men and women in the sales professions, in the healthcare industry. I work with a lot of professionals who are entrepreneurs, or they're in corporate, they're executives, and they want to get their hands on strategies that they can implement to really make some changes right now in their lives. I host workshops live as well as online. I run group coaching programs with members from all over North America, and I have created balance and time freedom for myself. So I use the same simple systems that I'm going to show you while I run around with my kids, while I look after my business. These are things that have helped me, not only my clients. Here's me presenting live in the Comox Valley in a few different locations. Some of the topics I've covered are creating healthy boundaries for yourself so that you can free up your time, working on helping caregivers prioritize their own needs instead of just looking after others first. And I also have spoken to entrepreneurial groups about stress management and making sure that you are using words that are going to empower you instead of strip you of any kind of sense of self-worth and confidence. I love to spend time outside. I love nature. So this is me on my bike and some local mountain biking trails. And I also love spending time in the ocean with my family. This is us on the West Coast. We spend a lot of time on the West Coast. We love it there. We love hiking. This is my son, Gavin. Gavin's 10, and you saw in that previous picture my son, Simon. He's 8. Here's our whole family out on some more hikes and walks near the ocean, in the forest. We love to get our blood pumping and have lots of fun. So today's webinar training is finding lasting calm so that you don't crack under pressure. So important that you're able to use self-control and have tactics and tools in your belt to help you stay calm no matter what's going on in life. So that's what our focus for today's training is. And let's hop right in. Here are the points we're going to be covering. 6 of the tools I regularly use to find lasting calm. A sense of calmness that carries you through when others feel like you shouldn't be that calm. That's how calm I want you to feel. Deep, deep peace in your heart and your mind and your body. So the steps to find lasting calm are keeping it simple and prioritizing, choosing your mindset wisely, letting go of control and trusting. This is probably one of my favorite steps. Focusing on reality, not the worst case scenarios. Sometimes your mind can get away on you and create scenarios that probably will never happen, or if they do, hardly ever. And then talking about it instead of bottling things up inside, talking about your feelings, talking about what you're going through. It's very powerful. The last step we're going to talk about is cultivating healthy self-esteem. Super duper important if you want to feel like you can handle anything. You've got to be able to build yourself up and keep yourself there. So I'll show you how to do that. Here is the first step. So when you keep life simple and you prioritize, imagine yourself not overbooking yourself, focusing on what's most important in every single day, not on everything that you deem as urgent. How would you be acting differently if you were living life more simply? Right now, I want you to take out a piece of paper or open up your book, and I want you to write down needs and wants. On one side of the paper, write down your needs that you need to accomplish on a daily basis, the minimum that needs to be met in all areas of your life. Maybe you're thinking of work first. That's pretty normal to think of work first. But you also need to feel well-rounded. In order to feel calm, you need to have all of your needs met. So what are some other needs that you have? Maybe it's to have a minimum of 15 minutes to yourself in the morning where you have peace and quiet and you can contemplate life. You can just let your mind wander. Maybe it's important for you and it's a need to have creative time in your day. Maybe it's been a long time since you've allowed yourself to have any free time where you're not doing something like exercising or being with a friend or being with your children. So what are your needs and what are your wants? In order for you to prioritize, you need to get very clear on this. I know that it's something that's very simple, but sometimes these simple steps are going to transform your life. You don't need a big shift to see transformation in your life to change how you feel on an emotional level. Some things, the wants, if you don't accomplish those in the day, it's okay. Sometimes you're going to have time where you can accomplish some wants as well as the needs that you prioritize. But you're going to need to be flexible. For example, one week may be a heavy project week for work, and you're not going to have as much balance as you desire. The routine that you want won't necessarily flow the way that you want it to flow on a regular basis, but that's okay because the week after, you'll probably gain your balance back as you focus on your needs and then your wants. So clearly define the difference so that not everything is urgent and you can focus your energy where it counts, and you're going to find your productivity skyrockets when you put this into action and you start feeling better about your accomplishments. You start feeling more proud, your self-esteem increases because you're focusing on what really matters, and then it's a bonus when you get to pay attention to some of the wants on your list as well. Make sure that your needs are not all work-oriented, okay? Because in this whole life where we are given this beautiful time to spend, work is not the be-all and end-all. It's very important. It feels great to contribute and be useful, to practice your talents and become a more incredible person in the work atmosphere, in your profession. But it's not everything there is to life. So some of your needs might be personal. And then I want you to really scrutinize what you're expecting of yourself. Because if you want to feel calm, just imagine how it feels to expect to make homemade meals every day of the week if you are a busy entrepreneur. If you're a busy professional and you expect that you're going to have an hour of playtime every single day with your children, it might not be manageable. It might not be realistic. And then every time you set for yourself an unrealistic expectation, you're setting yourself up for a fall. You're setting yourself up for disappointment and frustration and negative self-talk. Whereas if you create realistic expectations, expectations that nourish you and allow you to be flexible, then when you go over and above meeting those expectations, You're going to build on victory on top of victory on top of small victory, and your confidence is going to increase. So be aware of what you're expecting of yourself, because you can induce more stress for yourself, more of a feeling of panic and anxiety, more than anyone else can in your life. So as you take responsibility for the stress that you're creating in your own life, the pressure that you're allowing to build up because of your expectations, then you'll see you have control to change that area of your life as well. So don't give up. Just reevaluate what your expectations of yourself are. The second point to feel more lasting calm on a daily basis, so that you don't feel like you're going to crack all the time because of the pressure in your life, is to choose your mindset wisely. So what do I mean by choosing your mindset wisely? In this book that I really love, I recommend my clients read this book, and I would recommend you read this book as well. It's called Mindset, and it's by Carol Dweck, I believe. She talks about the growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And I really love what she teaches, because if you feel like you're surrounded by challenges right now, or maybe you're in a good spot, but you know that you don't deal with the unexpected very well, a change in plans, maybe you don't deal with coming up against a challenge and then feeling like you didn't succeed the first time round, that can induce stress and more pressure, and you don't want that. Your goal today is to learn how to feel more calm all the time. So if you give yourself permission to look at challenge and obstacles as, instead of a wall, look at them as a puzzle that needs to be solved, as a healthy challenge that gives you an opportunity to grow and learn. And that's going to give you a sense of patience with yourself. It's going to make you feel like you're being more generous and kind to yourself, which is a beautiful state to grow in. It allows you the freedom and time to be able to learn what you need to learn, become an expert in that area, but sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. So beating yourself up actually strips you of your ability to grow, whereas being patient and kind with yourself, knowing that the puzzle can be solved, you might just need to be more creative or look at things differently or find another piece to fit into that puzzle of your life. That kind of perspective is really going to help you feel calm, versus calling yourself a failure because you didn't master something right away, because you didn't do well on the project that you gave yourself or that life gave you. You didn't master it the first time. That kind of thinking is going to set yourself up for a fall that you don't want to experience. So that's what I mean by choosing your mindset wisely. One mindset makes you want to give up or stress out even more, and the growth mindset makes you want to grow, makes you want to learn, and gives you the freedom and the perfect environment to do so in. So if you want to feel calm, give yourself permission to not be perfect, to not have to show up perfectly, to not have to accomplish tasks perfectly the first time round. Give yourself permission to learn and grow, because successful people know that transformation doesn't always happen the first time round. I want to share with you a testimonial from a client of mine who was really struggling with what she expected of herself. She was really struggling in a negative mental rut. And she started realizing that the more that she stressed out, the more she needed to find a way to recognize and become self-aware of what was causing her stress, so that she could create a breakthrough for herself and allow herself to just take the time to work things through in that area of her life. So she developed a great amount of self-awareness, which enabled her to start prioritizing things that were really important and basic for her need to feel happy, her need to feel balanced, her need to feel loved and important. So she started putting things into place. She started prioritizing her sleeping patterns to become healthier. She started prioritizing her health and put exercise on the front of her plate. And probably most importantly, she became more gentle with herself and more forgiving. So if you know that you're not afraid of effort, you're going to see big changes happening in your life. You're going to create more of a quality life for yourself with the tools and the ideas that I share in these webinars. So keep listening. The third step is to let go of control and trust. Now, in order to do this, you need to say yes to whatever happens in life. I'm just going to take a sip of water here. So what do I mean? You need to say yes to what happens in life. Saying yes means you're letting go of control and trusting that maybe there's a bigger plan for your life. Maybe there is a plan that's even better than you thought possible for right now. And sometimes that's really hard to see when you get a flat tire in your vehicle, or your child spills their food or throws up over something that you need to then clean up, and that makes you late for an appointment. It's hard to let go of control and go with the flow when your colleague or your staff member is just, showing some less than mature behavior. It's hard to deal with things that are not in our plan. But when we say, yeah, okay, I'm going to accept what's happening in life right now at work or in my personal life, I'm going to accept the discomfort, and I'm going to choose to go with the flow. When you do this, you're actually taking a step back. And when you take a step back from your life, you're able to survey the situation, the relationships, what's happening, what's come up. And that gives you an objective stance. Instead of feeling so emotionally absorbed by whatever's going on in your life, when you say, yeah, I can handle this, I can handle this situation, I can handle whatever happens, your confidence increases. You're able to relax, physically relax your body. You can rest your shoulders, you can rest your face, and your thoughts can calm down when you choose to let go of control and trust. And when you let go of control and trust, that's when your eyes are opened to see the blessings and the beauty and the opportunities that lie ahead. That's when doors open for you to see things that you would not have seen if you stayed in victim mode. Like, why does this always happen to me? Why does this have to happen right now? Why does this person have to be so A, B, or C? Why? Oh, I can't handle this. So you get the drift. You're either a victim, or you go with the flow and you trust that there's a better plan, that things will work out, that you're going to be able to handle whatever comes your way. I just love this aspect because I believe that there is a bigger plan for your life. This step is so important in you becoming the woman or man that you are meant to be, the ideal version of yourself. There's a quote that I just love. It's so simple, so profound. It says, "No pressure, no diamonds." I'll leave you with that. Here is our fourth step to becoming more calm on a consistent basis. And it is to focus on reality, not the worst case scenario. So I'm going to stop the screen share with you because I want to read to you from a book, just a few paragraphs from a book. So I'll just stop for a second. And there, here I am. Here I am again. This book here is one I would also recommend reading, and it's called Thoughts and Feelings. It's about taking control of your mood and your life. It's very applicable to creating more of a sense of calm on a daily basis. And I want to read to you about focusing on reality instead of the worst case scenarios. Sometimes we can get very stuck in blowing things out of proportion, and we can create a very negative, limited thinking pattern in our minds, and that's what I want you to get away from so that you can take more control over your thoughts. And what that's going to do is you're going to create a mental space that is fertile in your mind for growing healthy thoughts and therefore making you feel calm, peaceful, happy, and in control. So listen in here as I share a little bit here. One of the patterns of limited thinking, the one I want to share with you today, is called polarized thinking. This is black and white thinking with no shades of gray allowed. You insist on either or choices, perceiving everything at the extremes, with very little room for middle ground. Can you feel or sense the pressure building if there's no room for middle ground in your thinking? People and things are good or bad, wonderful or horrible, delightful or intolerable. Since your interpretations are extreme, your emotional reactions will be extreme, fluctuating from despair to elation, to rage, to ecstasy, to terror. The greatest danger in polarized thinking is its impact on how you judge yourself. You could believe that if you aren't perfect or brilliant, that you must be a failure or an imbecile. There's no room for mistakes or mediocrity. For example, a charter bus driver told himself he was a real loser when he took the wrong freeway exit and had to drive 2 miles out of his way. What a loser. One mistake meant that he was incompetent and worthless. A single mother with 3 children was determined to be strong and in charge. The moment she felt tired or nervous, she began thinking of herself as weak and falling apart. Yikes. And she often criticized herself in conversations with friends. So you get my drift there. If you blow everything out of proportion, if you have this tendency to think in a black and white manner with no room for middle ground, no room for flexibility, and you blow things out of proportion like this, like these 2 examples of the bus driver and the mom, you're going to get stressed out because you're not leaving yourself any option. You're not leaving yourself any opportunity to be flexible. You're just treating yourself really rough or really well, but you're not allowing yourself time to grow. You're not being patient with yourself. So focus on what's really going on. That bus driver, he just made a wrong turn. No big deal. Maybe he's going to be 10 or 15 minutes late for a delivery or to drop kids off. If you're an entrepreneur and, oops, just give me 1 second here. Just some technical details I got to take care of. My computer is getting a little bit finicky today, and I need to make sure that you can still see me and hear me. So let me know if if you can still see me and hear me, that would be good. Okay, so I'm going to start the screen share again, and we're going to focusing on reality instead of the worst case scenario. Oh, hi, Kristen. Welcome. I'm glad you can see me and hear me well. Good, everything's functioning well. Just want to encourage you to keep it real, to be gentle on yourself, and remind yourself that even if you are going to experience the worst case scenario, it's not going to be that bad, and it doesn't mean that you're lacking in any way. It doesn't mean that you're a failure, an imbecile, a dork. I love that word. You don't want to call yourself names. That's what I'm saying. So let me share this screen share with you. Focus on reality, not the worst case scenario. So, you're not a loser, you're not a horrible parent, you're not incompetent if you make a mistake, right? Give yourself a break, shake your head. I have to shake my head and remind myself how awesome I am, how loved I am on a regular basis. Because the stories that you make up in your mind are usually not true. So don't believe everything that you think. Here is the second to last step I want to share with you about how to feel more calm on a daily basis. So important for you to talk about your feelings, for you to discuss with your spouse, with your coworkers, with your boss, with your staff. Discuss what needs to be discussed. People cannot read your minds, and it will not make you feel calm if you are not telling people what needs to be talked about. Sometimes we think that other people are mind readers. I don't know where we get this notion that other people can read our minds, that we don't need to communicate what we're feeling, our opinions, what's important to us. But we do, because if you don't, your needs are not going to be met, and you're going to start feeling like stuff is bottling up inside, and you want to avoid verbally vomiting over someone, or being rude or insensitive or short or just downright nasty with the people that you care most about. Or it can even come into your business life. If you're not talking about what's most important, if you don't cover important details that are uncomfortable in staff meetings, you're going to start treating staff differently. You're going to start treating your children differently, your spouse differently. And by different, I mean not well. With less respect, courtesy, love, patience than you ideally want to. So if you want to feel calm inside, it starts by letting your feelings out of your mouth. And obviously you can think about it, you can write it down, but get it out, because thoughts are not good stuck in your mind. And the power that they have over how you feel is tremendous. So get them out. Talk about them. It's so important for you to feel happy, feel understood, feel heard. In order to feel heard, you got to talk and overcome some fears that you may have. Here's another testimonial of a friend and past client of mine who overcame some big fears when she worked with me. She had a big fear that she would never be able to have time for what was most important to her in her personal life and spiritual life. Because she is a busy lawyer, she has a very busy practice, and she needed to shift her mindset to believe that she could have everything she wanted in life. She could have a flourishing practice, personal life, and relationships. And when I helped her shift her mindset, she was able to take the stress she was feeling and use it as power to focus on what her priorities were. Remember that point I talked about earlier, the importance of identifying what your priorities are and changing your beliefs and mindset to support you. So things started to radically shift for her as she found this inner key that she applied to her outer life. So I'm super happy for her transformation. Here is our last point to create more lasting calm for yourself so you don't feel like you're going to crack under pressure. This is a big bowl of self-esteem. I found this picture, and I think it just is really healthy and represents what we need to do for ourselves on a regular basis to feel calm. You know, when you are firing, all you artists out there, all you potters, when you fire a pot, I don't know a lot about firing clay, but it can obviously crack under pressure. You need to know how much heat you can handle. And believe me, ladies and men, you can handle way more than you tell yourself is possible. It's amazing how much you can handle. You were not meant to carry the world on your shoulders. I do not agree with that. I think we put a lot on our shoulders that we don't need to handle. Too much stress and pressure is not a good thing. But your version of yourself in your own mind and heart and spirit, how you talk to yourself, what you believe you're capable of, is going to dramatically affect how you feel. So what kind of words come to mind when you think about challenging times in your life, pressure-filled times, stressful times? What have you told yourself about yourself? Have you said anything like, I'm disorganized, or I'm not cut out for this, or I'm not a great parent if I can't blah, 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 blah? What do you say to yourself when you're feeling at your lowest? That is what you want to work on today. That is what you want to transform. You want to write down right now what you would need to believe about yourself in order to have just incredible, super fantastic self-esteem. What would you need to believe about yourself? When you write down what you would need to believe about yourself if you were feeling fantastically awesome, super confident, like Shira, for all of you who are watching He-Man and She-Ra in the 80s, there you go, that's how old I am. What would you need to believe about yourself? When you identify what you would be believing about yourself when you feel super confident, that gives you a very big hint of where your thoughts might be out of alignment right now. When you're feeling super confident, you also feel able to deal with whatever happens in life, even if it's not your plan. You feel more calm when you're confident, and that's our goal for today. You apply these steps, you're going to see transformations in your life, period. So I hope that you've written down some steps to some beliefs that you need to take some time to reevaluate, see if they're helping you out anymore, and write down the beliefs that you would need to install and practice and focus on in order for your confidence to grow in that area. If you have been really uncomfortable, you have not been feeling calm, I'm wondering how long you're going to wait to change things in your life so you can start feeling calm, even when your life is full of pressure, even when your life is full of stress. How long are you going to wait to make some changes? That's my question for you today. In order for you to feel like you can change, you need to have support. You need to have accountability to other people so you can stick to your goals, so you can accomplish great things. You need to have people who have gone before you so that you can be mentored. My question for you is, what is it costing you to stay in the place that you're at instead of making some small, consistent changes so you can have big new results in your life? You could have medical conditions already just due to not implementing strategies or not knowing what tools work so that you can feel more calm in your relationships that cause you stress, the workload that may be causing you stress. What's it costing you mentally to not have your hands on tools to make you feel calm? It's amazing what happens in your physical body, in your mind. It's amazing how it affects your heart emotionally, how it makes you feel sad, frustrated, disappointed in yourself when you don't take action. So what's it costing you? And what price is your family paying? Because they pay a price as well when you are not living up to your true potential, when you're not taking responsibility for creating the change that you could be creating in your life. Your family pays in so many ways. They pay because they don't get you the ideal version of you. They get a lesser version of you. One that's more snarky sometimes. One that's more impatient maybe sometimes. One that is not so forgiving sometimes. So how does your family pay? Consider that. And remind yourself that you always have a choice. I want to shout it from the mountaintops. You always have a choice, and you're making a choice right now. So what is that choice? In the next 30 days, what would you be able to achieve if you had more time freedom? You had less stress to deal with. The things that used to stress you out before caused you less stress. How would that make you feel? And what would you be able to achieve? Maybe you'd be able to step into a new career and start flourishing quickly. Maybe you'd be able to mend an old relationship because you'd opened up free time to do that. Maybe you'd feel way more confident because you're stepping out of your comfort zone, overcoming your fears, and your stressors just seem small now. What would you be able to achieve, and how would life be different in the next 30 days if you took action? Can you tell I'm challenging you? So how would you like to do that? In the next 30 to 60 days, it's totally possible for you to create an even more amazing life for yourself. That is what I can help you do. I can help you conquer stress like a ninja warrior with a really sharp sword. I can help you kickstart your health so that you feel fantastic in your own body. You feel really happy about your consistency and prioritizing your health emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, in all areas. This is the program that I think is the best for you. It's the program that I offer called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. And I've chosen this picture of this mountaintop scene because that's where I lead my clients. I lead them to mountaintop experiences, and I walk with them through low valleys. And I'm with you every single step of the way, guiding you and holding your hand and showing you what foot to put where, what step to take when. Here's a little bit more about it. It's an ongoing 6-month-long program. I'm in the middle of it right now. You can join at any point, and then it lasts for 6 months from your starting date. Every month, I coach you exclusively, privately, over the phone or Skype, and the calls are recorded for you to listen to later if you want to. We get really clear for an hour or so on what you want to focus on for that month, what you need to overcome. We create a plan for you to take action and make it really simple and clear and straightforward. Then you're part of a group coaching experience. Every week we meet for an hour and we go through every question that you have for that week. Things that have come up that are challenging. Maybe you need more clarity or accountability on something you're working on, a project or a relationship, whatever it is that you need help with. That's a great opportunity for that. And then you're part of a group coaching private members area. And that is awesome because everyone supports everyone on that membership site. There's mentorship, there's support, there's great high accountability in the group. And you have lifetime access to the modules. The modules are all stored in the private members area. There's audios, videos, worksheet trainings you can print out, and we cover everything from learning how to let go and trust so that you can be more flexible, you can be happier, you can feel more calm. We cover stress management strategies, so even when your life is super busy and you're balancing so many you're juggling so many balls in the air, you still know how to deal with stress in a really healthy and effective way, like the Ninja Warrior. And you know how to effectively manage your time so that you can not only be productive, but you can become more successful in your business, more successful in your private life, more successful as a parent, more successful as a role model and a leader. Role models, leaders, they have really effective time management strategies that they implement so that they can have and enjoy that success. I cover how to transform your beliefs so that old beliefs aren't holding you back and you can have a really positive mental experience on a daily basis and not allow negative thoughts to overtake positive space in your mind. We also work on how to create time freedom, stress management skills. I'm just reiterating here. Transforming your beliefs, learning how to let go of control, learning how to create healthy boundaries so that you're prioritizing and you don't feel bad, guilty, or selfish for prioritizing your needs, yourself, and your health. So these are just some of the things that I cover in the program. And it's great. It's an extended period of time, 6 months, so that you can really start seeing changes happen in your life and you have my support through the whole time period. So you can find out more about the program at amyengelmark.com/about. It gives you all the details there. And let me see here. Yeah, I have opened up time in the next week for an hour or so to help you figure out how you can create a foundation and create the habits that you need to implement in order for you to have these breakthroughs in your time, in your relationships, at work, in order for you to manage your time more effectively, manage your stress. And I show you how to do that, making it very clear. So you're not left with a whole bunch of things to do, but you're left with a plan. So that's what I'd love to offer you today, and it's completely free. So it's an incredible offer, and I invite you to apply today. You can apply at, actually I'll put it on the screen here, but it's amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. So it's not the about page, it's /breakthrough. That will lead you to the application form, and I invite you to apply there today because this hour with me is powerful and I don't offer this anywhere else. Here's another testimonial of a client of mine who is a business owner, and she went through a program that I had that was a 6-week long program, so much shorter. And even in that 6-week period, she had transformations take place in her ability to lead her staff, in her ability to communicate, even when she felt really uncomfortable with conflict. She really saw a transformation in her family life. What was really interesting there, she says at the beginning, is that she gained a new respect for her children and her family. Instead of needing to be in control, she decided to let go of control, and beautiful things started happening in both her work life and her personal life. So super happy for both of my clients, all of the clients that I've shared testimonials of. You can see more testimonials on my website as well, amyengelmark.com/testimonials. And that is it for the day. So I'm going to leave you with that offer, and it would be my pleasure to give it to you. I hope you've learned so much from the webinar and that you're going to apply everything that you've learned, or at least take 1 or 2 things and start taking action on those 2 things. Have a fabulous day. Oh, I forgot about the daily gratitude journal. So Who can tell me, does anyone know what type of migratory bird comes and lands in the fields around the Comox Valley for a limited period of time every year? They're very beautiful. I'm just going to take a sip of water and I'll stop screen sharing and I will give you an opportunity to answer that question. I'm going to also take this time and give you the link to the 2 chapters of my ebook. And I'll make sure that you have a way to contact me as well if you can't access the application to have that free hour with me. So here is the link to my 2 chapters, the first 2 chapters, and here is the link to the application form if you'd like to have the free hour, the breakthrough strategy session with me. And I don't see any answers to that question yet. I'll ask the question again. It's, what migratory bird stops in the Comox Valley just for a limited period of time? They're big and beautiful. There's a big clue. amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. That's how you can apply to spend 1 hour with me, and we can go over your business, your personal life, and see what steps you need to take so that you can manage your time and your stress more effectively, so you can have more time freedom, less stress, and better life balance. There's the application form. So I don't see anybody coming up with the answer to the question. I will leave you with that, and feel free to hop on the webinar next week at the same time, Wednesday, 11 a.m., and this could end up at your doorstep. Take care. Bye.